The Haunting of Willow House. Once upon a time, in a small, quiet town nestled in the woods, there stood an old, decrepit mansion known as Willow House. The townsfolk spoke of it only in hushed whispers, for they believed it to be cursed. Its windows were shattered, and its once grand façade was now covered in ivy and moss. The front gate was always locked, and a feeling of unease hung in the air round it. Sarah, a curious teenager with a penchant for adventure, had always been fascinated by Willow House. She often heard eerie tales from the older kids about strange noises and ghostly apparitions seen around the mansion. One moonless night, fueled by a dare from her friends, Sarah decided to investigate the notorious Willow House. She slipped through the rusted gate and approached the mansion. The wind whispered through the trees, and the night was eerily silent. As she reached for the doorknob, it swung open on its own, creaking loudly. Goosebumps covered her arms as she stepped inside. The interior was shrouded in darkness, illuminated only by the faint glow of the moon. Sarah cautiously made her way through the hallways, her footsteps echoing eerily. She felt a chill down her spine and a sense of being watched. In the main hall, she noticed an old, ornate mirror hanging on the wall. Her reflection seemed distorted, and as she stared into it, she saw a shadowy figure behind her. She turned around, but there was nothing there. Her heart pounded in her chest. Continuing her exploration, Sarah entered a room covered in dust and cobwebs. In the corner, she found an old, weathered diary. As she opened it, the pages reveal the story of a family that had once lived in Willow House. They had been tormented by a malevolent spirit, and one by one, they had vanished without a trace. Just as Sarah reached the final page, the room grew icy cold, and a ghostly whisper filled the air. She looked up and saw the ghostly figure from the mirror standing before her. Its hollow eyes stared into her soul, terrified. Sarah ran from the room, but the mansion seemed to shift and change around her. Endless hallways twisted and turned, leading her deeper into the darkness. The ghostly figure pursued her relentlessly, whispering haunting words. Sarah's friends, worried about her, arrived at Willow House, only to find the front gate swinging open. They entered the mansion, calling her name, but the echoing whispers drowned their voices. They soon realized that Willow House was not a place for the living. And so the legend of Willow House continued, with Sarah's voice joining the haunting whispers in the dark, warning all who dared to enter its cursed halls. Remember, it's just a story, and there's nothing to fear. Or is there?